Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. It is 9:15 in the UK, so it's definitely a good evening from here. Third video today. I have just decided, as I'm getting myself organised for everything I've got going on this week, I'm just going to get these all knocked out today, because you might not hear again from me. So maybe a quick one at the weekend, but yeah, it's going to be fairly sparse. Getting my flights booked, Ireland, New Zealand, so much to do, so much going on at the moment, and because I've got so much going on, I have just made some decisions. So as you know, I have wrestled with what to do this game week, you know, ranging and Foden out and Bemo in. Do I bring in an Arsenal defender? Do I sell João Pedro even with a good fixture and bring in Krupi Jr. and free up 3 million that I can use in the coming game weeks? But the one I've been drawn to is taking this calculated punt. So this is where I am going. Chalobah. Now, as I talk through this, hopefully I justify to myself why I am doing this. As you can see there, season started okay-ish, just reasonably solid start. Big dip game week 3, wild carded, reclaimed my rank, and been really steady the last 4 or 5. The last 5 game weeks have been really nice and steady. However, I am without an Arsenal defender. I've got Saka in, and it is, you know me. There are the two Deses which you have now come to know and not necessarily love. There's this one here, take some punts, and the Steady Eddie. Where I am at the moment, I feel there's an opportunity, and I'm actually a bit higher than I expected to be at the moment. I feel I can take a calculated punt. Arsenal, I know, have got Crystal Palace. They will probably win, but Crystal Palace's expected goals is second in the league. I mean, their expected goals has been absolutely phenomenal. They have changed their style. They're going all out on the goals. I think they're going to score. Which is going to knock out a lot of the double Arsenal defence, where a huge amount of the game has gone in the last week or two, and rightly so, and it has absolutely paid dividends. The fact that I've actually managed to maintain rank and actually rise a little bit is a bit of a miracle. But I had fires to put out post wildcard, which didn't allow me to bring in Arsenal assets, and somehow I have survived. But I have survived. Now with that game against Crystal Palace, as I look at my lineup, which was pretty good defensively, the weak link, in my opinion, weirdly being the Liverpool defence with Van Dijk, whose averages have dropped right off just dropped right down in the last few weeks, as Liverpool have started to concede and don't look like keeping a clean sheet. I don't think they're going to keep one in the next game week. Is to bring in this lad, Chalobah, for a Chelsea fixture at home against Sunderland, who are great at home, absolutely. But shit, Man United kept a fucking clean sheet against them, 2-0. I think Chelsea keep a clean sheet. This guy's been extraordinarily consistent. So, still thinking about this. Let's just talk through it by the numbers. Going with the back 4, as you can see in the spreadsheet. Petrovic in goal. Do I think Petrovic will keep a clean sheet? I think there's a decent chance. We'll just project it at a 2 or 3 points, or maybe some save points. He could be a lot better. Tarkowski, averaging 4 for me. Spurs home. I would expect him to get his DEF CON. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a clean sheet there. And I get 2 appearance points. Senesi, Forest at home. Forest are a shocker. Absolutely really good chance of a clean sheet there. I'm backing against the Arsenal defence and taking a gamble by bringing in Chalobah, who in the last 5 game weeks where he has actually played his, a full game, 80 or 90 minutes. I know that I'm removing the fixture there, obviously with the sending off and obviously the game he was suspended for, but those averages are significant at 7.6. That if the defence hits their averages, and I think it might be a little bit optimistic that the 4 defenders actually hit this overall, but on 4 decent fixtures, maybe with one hauling, there'll be a couple of disappointments in there, I'm sure. Comfortably hitting the 5-point average on the defenders there, and you just don't know. Comfortably hitting it, across the board. That defence should get me the 20 to 25 points. Maybe I've been over optimistic, but I'm as optimistic, almost, to be honest with you, with Chelsea keeping a clean sheet against Sunderland at home as I am about Arsenal keeping one against Crystal Palace. And if I get it right, that could make a huge difference in terms of potential rank rise. Rest of the team, it kind of is what it is. Saka, yeah, he'll hit 6 or 7 in that fixture. Caicedo, I can easily see him getting his minimum of 4, but you never know. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe he gets the attacking return. The projections show me that on this team, as I'm showing it there in the spreadsheet, should be hitting a 66 pointer, excluding captaincy, but I exclude captaincy in my predictions. The median's actually 68, but I always go for the lowest of the median and the average of 66. So that would be my prediction, 66, which would not be bad. In general, that actual team shows a floor of 46 and a ceiling of 89. 47's not a total disaster. But supposing I get the ceiling, and I've gone against the Arsenal defence, it could mean a huge rank rise. But if it does go pear-shaped and I just get the 47, it is actually not a disaster at this stage of the season. I feel I'm in a position to take a punt here. That's what I'm saying. Now the other thing is, if I bring in Chalobah, I think that's actually a good addition. The Chelsea fixtures are good. I think it strengthens the squad overall. But I have got the exact, Gabriel went up last night, I have got the exact money then to turn Tarkowski into Gabriel, whose averages, as you can see there, he's averaging 9 at the moment over the last 5 game weeks, are absolutely amazing. Not sure if it's maintainable, but then you do look at those fixtures going forward, and it could well be maintainable, given the Arsenal defence, given his propensity at the moment to get on the end of a cross or have a flick on for an assist. And even picking up some DEFCON. It's a calculated gamble, and because I've got so much going on this week, I think I just have to make a decision. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Do it. After the European matches, make the decision so I don't have to think about it anymore. And then just do the transfer. I've got exactly the right money to do Chalobah now from Virgil. Helps my overall averages. And then I've got the exact right amount of money, provided Gabriel doesn't go up again this week, to go from Tarkowski to Gabriel for the Burnley fixture, where clearly I do think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet, and considering Burnley's defence, he could easily get an attacking return. Those are the thoughts. That is the decision. For better, for worse, possibly both. But it feels like a decent calculated punt that could pay dividends. It could go horribly pear-shaped. We've seen it. The game is so hard to predict. But I reckon I'll get a 66, whatever I do. Worst case scenario, I'll get a 47. Could get in the higher 80s or 90s if it all goes incredibly well. Risks in the team. Foden. But Foden could go large. He is probably moving into his last chance saloon at the moment. Is Zhao going to do anything? God knows. Is Haaland going to get a goal? I will be definitely depending on Haaland getting a goal as a captain's return, I think, somewhere in there. But I think amongst that 11 going out, you know, we should be hitting a 65 or a 66. Time will tell, but that is the decision. Take care. Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic. That's the decision. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.